You guys wanted to know how I clean a kitchen quickly, efficiently, and thoroughly, and today I'm going to show you how I do it. I clean this kitchen in about 40 minutes. It's large, it's well used, and it has a lot of cupboards. So if you're looking for some tips and tricks to speed up your time in the kitchen, this one's for you. This stove is well maintained, but it doesn't change my process. I spray down the stove and in the inside of the microwave, and I give the cleaner dwell time. From there, I work left to right and I dust everything down, all the cabinets, light fixtures, windowsills, you get the picture. There's a lot to do in a kitchen and it can seem very overwhelming, so a trick that I like to use is to section off the kitchen. So this part of the counter ends at the kitchen sink, so that's the section that I'm starting with. I'm again working left to right, high to low. I'm starting with getting rid of any fingerprints on the upper cabinets. I will then move on to the countertop and spot checking the backsplash. I'm using isopropyl alcohol mixed with water, which helps sanitize, with a little drop of dish soap, which gives me a surfactant. I wipe clean with a wet cloth, and then I dry with a glass cloth. Makes it nice and shiny every time. I do rinse my cloth as needed, which you will not see much of that in the video, because I only have so much room to film. The isopropyl alcohol is also fantastic for shining up anything that's on the counter as you move along. Once I'm done with the counter, I move on to the lower cabinets. I spot check for any spills, and once again get rid of any fingerprints around the knobs. As you can see here, I'm coming up to the sink, so this is going to complete my first section. My second section would be the countertop between the sink and the stove. I'm going to be doing all the same things here. I'm going to be spot checking the backsplash, doing the counter, and spot checking the bottom cabinets. Now that you have an understanding of that process, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. My third section would be the overhead range and the stove and the outside of the stove, if that was one of those. Another trick to moving efficiently is to minimize the amount of different cleaners that you're using. I like the isopropyl alcohol mixture because I can go from doing the backsplash, the counters, to even that glass overhead range. So you'll notice I use mostly isopropyl alcohol in this kitchen, except for that grease right up there. I had to use a degreaser on that. So the degreaser was used on the overhead range, the stovetop, and the inside of the microwave. My next section is this little itty bitty space in between the stove and the oven. Again, same process. And now for the inside of the microwave, the outside of the microwave, and the outside of that oven. By this time, my cleaner had a good amount of dwell time, so anything that was stuck on inside that microwave wiped off with ease. And again, the isopropyl alcohol mixture made everything nice and shiny on the outside. Wipe it down, shine it up with a glass cloth, bam, done. And the next section in this kitchen is the sliding glass patio doors. I don't have to waste any time going to my caddy to get another cleaner because isopropyl alcohol does the trick once again. I spray it, I squeegee it, and then I use my glass cloth for any touch-ups. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, sectioning off the kitchen can make it seem a lot less overwhelming. Here's another tip though while you're sectioning. Doing a really long counter or a counter that has a lot of stuff on it, section that counter once again. Maybe section it into arm-length pieces. You will find that especially useful for cluttered counters. Isopropyl alcohol, once again, it works great for stainless steel with the glass cloth as well, eliminating yet another step and yet another cleaner. Once I've completed all my sections, the sink is last, with the exception of the floor, of course. This sink is a composite sink, so I'm just using some Sal Suds and a Scrub Mommy. When I'm done, I'll condition it with some mineral oil, and beautiful. So just a recap of how I sectioned the kitchen off. This was section number 1, working high to low, left to right. This was section number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then it was the patio doors at section number 6, and then there was these cupboards, section number 7, this piece of the counter, section number 8, the fridge, section number 9, and then this little beauty here, section number 10, and then the sink. I hope you found that helpful. Happy cleaning, you guys. Made by Nature out.